The 2020 presidential campaign is in full swing, and tonight the state of Florida is at the epicenter. These are live pictures from the Amway Center in Orlando, where President Trump is set to officially kick off his re-election campaign.
The president and First Lady Melania Trump arrived on board Air Force One just in the last hour and headed straight to a fundraising event.
Now, if the president hopes to win re-election, Florida's 29 electoral votes have to be a part of his campaign's calculation.
And new polling data from Quinnipiac University shows the Sunshine State may be slipping from his grip, for now anyway. Among registered voters in Florida, the president trails former Vice President Joe Biden by 9 points, and he is also behind Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders by 6 points.
Now, Senators Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, former Texas Representative Beto O'Rourke, and Mayor Pete Buttigieg all have narrow leads within the margin of error. CBS 4's Ty Russell is live for us in Orlando inside the Amway Center ahead of the president's announcement. And Ty, do supporters believe their enthusiasm will help the president's chances in 2020?
Elliot and Francis, I've been talking to supporters since last night, and they are very hopeful that the 29 electoral votes will go in President Trump's favor. Now, if you take a look here, take a look at some of the reporters here. You can see that they are wearing their Make America Great Again hats. Many have signs. Many have the American flags. They've been here, many since late last night. Many camped out along the sidewalk here, blocks away from Amway Center, and they are all right now just waiting to see President Trump.
This is my first one.
This is your first?
Yeah.
And how are you feeling?
I am so excited, I can't tell you.
The excitement has been building for hours.
Before my speech, I'm going down, as you know, to a very big crowd down in Florida, Orlando. And before that, I'm having a meeting.
Soon, President Trump will officially kick off his re-election campaign in swing state Florida. Vice President Pence landed in Orlando on Air Force Two for the rally at Amway Center. This comes after the latest polls showed top Democrat hopeful and former Vice President Joe Biden clinching the White House in a head-to-head matchup with the president.
We're not falling for it. We are going to make America great. We're going to keep America great.
But Biden told a crowd he plans to turn Florida and other southern states blue.
And if I'm your nominee, winning Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, believe it or not, and I believe we can win Texas and Florida. Inside
the Amway Center that seats 20,000 people, the commander-in-chief is expected to talk about the Mueller report, immigration, and hurricane disaster relief funds. And 2 blocks away, hundreds are expected to protest the president's visit.
Our communities are coming together to stand in solidarity, in love, and really to energize both Orlando, the state of Florida, and the entire nation.
Earlier Tuesday, former undocumented Trump Organization workers held a news conference calling for changes to immigration policies. But for President Trump's most loyal supporters who stood in the heat and rain, they are hoping Florida will once again be a red state.
I could not be more excited, and I pray to God he comes in again in 2020.
Now, it's still unclear if they're letting people in. However, as you can see, there are still some empty seats right here inside of Amway. This is a center that can seat up to about 20,000 people right now. And I should also note that earlier today, there was a gentleman who was pulled aside by Secret Service. Secret Service are telling us that they had what appeared to be an AR-15 along with a tactical belt with magazines. They did not allow that gentleman inside, but they did say that he is not a threat to the president or to this crowd. Now, we do have an understanding that the president just arrived here to Amway Center. We're waiting for him to come in. He's scheduled to talk in just about an hour from now, and we will have more on what the president has to say coming up on CBS 4 News tonight at 11. But for now, we are live inside Amway Center in Orlando. I'm Ty Russell, CBS 4 News.
Ty, thanks very much.
And let's take another live look from where Ty is reporting at the Amway Center in Orlando. You can also watch the rally streaming live at 8 on our website, cbsmiami.com.